evening everyone, welcome to Home and Beyond. I hope we've all had a good day / night wherever you are in the world, and I thought I'll just quickly show you my first grocery haul video. This looks like quite a big shop, but yeah, it kind of is as well, because I do like to meal plan and shop via each fortnight. And yeah, there's a bit of extra food as well because my partner is finally coming home from being a FIFO worker for the last 4 years since I met him, but also he's been doing FIFO for the last about 12-13 years, so it's a good little, it'll be an interesting change to see how we all deal with it. But yes, one thing that I have said before and what I'll say is meal planning to me has helped so much, because it helps you to be able to buy what you need, but also stops you from buying random things, because again, you're shopping according to your list, and you can always have a bit of wiggle room to say if you wouldn't mind a little treat. That's completely fine. So yeah, I just thought I'll get started now of what I've just brought, and yeah, we'll go from there. So this seems like a lot, so we've got 6 loaves of wholemeal sandwich bread, so all 6 loaves. It sounds like a lot, but I live with just myself, my partner, and 3 boys. So if anyone that's a boy mama, they can definitely relate to how much food they go through. So yep, so here we have our wholemeal bread. And yes, we've got our 4 pizza bases, because the youngest one, he's only just starting to eat meals on his own because he's just turned 1. So for this one here, it'll be my oldest boy Oscar's birthday next week, and he decided that he wanted some pizza and garlic bread with his cake. So yeah, and one of our favourite dinners is also just classic homemade pizza, which is so good to prepare and everyone just loves it. So we've got the pizza bases. Yes, and with my youngest boy Emmett, this is such an easy breakfast that I love to see that he likes, with some fruit, some yogurt. So we've got at least about 4 packets of the small pikelets. I can make them myself, but it's also good to have them on hand, just so if you're in a rush, you can just quickly give them a meal and you're all good. Yep, and here's my other little section within my grocery section. So we've got 2 packets of the spiral pasta. And with this in particular here, the AM noodle cakes, my oldest Oscar, again, he likes to have 2-minute noodles, and I do find that, again, 2-minute noodles can be absolutely packed with sodium, and I don't always like to give that to him. So an idea that I did have for some people on Instagram and Facebook is you can get these noodles, cook them as usual, but you can also get some beef stock or whatever stock your kids prefer, and this time I've just got some nice broth that I'll show you as we go around the table. So definitely a healthier alternative that I've got some ideas to, which is great. And yep, and again, just 2 packets of pasta. I've got some pasta dishes coming up in the dinners, but I also like to buy a bit extra, so I know I've got it on hand. So if we're all tired and we just can't be bothered cooking, then some pasta and vegetables and sauce and we're all good. And yep, and I've got a party bag of both the Twisties chicken and the Twisties cheese. This is just nice that I like to put in Oscar's school lunches. It's a massive bag, so obviously I will separate it each day into little baggies, so he has like a little bag to take with him in his lunch boxes. And yes, we've got about 1, 2, 3, 5 packets of these, the home brand butter flavoured microwave popcorn, because when everyone's home, we just love to watch movies and things like that, so that's definitely always a good option as well. And obviously with these 2, we like to share with everyone because we all love the Twisties. And then yes, over here we've got some of our Smith's single serve packs of chips. This is another option that I like to give Oscar when he's in his lunches, because say if he doesn't want chicken or cheese Twisties, he has the option of these chips. So he does eat a lot of his food, and it just gives him that option, because he likes to help pick out the food he eats, which is great. So it's always good to have that on hand, so if you have no snacks, you can always get into that. And also sometimes I like to get extras of those and stick them on the top of my cabinet. So yeah. This one was not so much an impulse buy, but something that I just felt like. There was a Smith's limited edition crispy bacon. This was just kind of a little snack that I thought I might like. As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, when all the boys are asleep, it'll be nice to have a little treat for myself while I'm watching a movie or something. So I always like to have a little snack for yourself. Yes, and here we go. And here we have some garlic bread that would also go with the pizzas for Oscar's birthday. And yeah, you probably just see my little black cat that just walked under the table. I don't always... this is the first time I've really gotten this type of garlic bread, because I'm sure it will taste absolutely fine, but I have found that since we're still having issues with our transport with our food because of COVID and because of the floods, we still don't have quite a lot of things in the supermarket, but these were on hand. I got an extra packet just in case, and I'll freeze the other one, so I'm sure it'll taste fine, but it's just sometimes when it comes to these moments, you pretty much just have to buy what you can get and just go from there.
Mom, I need some food.
Okay, that's fine. I'll be with you soon, Oscar. I'll just finish recording.
Can I get some food?
Oscar, I'll just finish recording. Yep, and here we have... Oscar, I'll be with you soon. Sorry about that. My little boy, I'll just give him some food, so it won't take too much longer, and I'll just make him some afternoon tea. And so yeah, here we have just a big knob of polony. This is also an easy lunch idea, is if they don't want ham, they don't want something, they just want something nice and meaty in their sandwich. And I think our whole family just likes polony because it's a classic of one of those things that we all grew up in. And I think it also depends whereabouts in Australia you're from as well, because where I am in WA, we call it polony, but I know people in the eastern states, they'll call it Devon. So it's pretty much wherever you live is what's going to be on the packaging. And yes, as we're coming to our meat section, I have some pork hocks because I'm planning to make some nice soups and casseroles. So I'm very looking forward to that. So this is the bit where I just pretty much got it from the deli within Woolworths. So yeah, we've got a pork hock. We've got about 2 kilos of chicken breast, because I've got about two dishes that require chicken, so I'll just buy it all in one go, and after I finish this video I'll just separate it into 2 1 kilo bags and just stick in the freezer and just take it out as I need it. And yes, we've got 2 on special, which is always good. I've got 2 packets of the 500-gram turkey breast mince, which I do like to give that option of turkey mince because it's also a healthy alternative and it doesn't have not as much fat as beef mince, but again, I like to have beef mince as well. But that's always good to have on hand. And some dinners that I've got prepared for the next fortnight requires turkey mince. And yep, and here we go, we've got the infamous beef mince. This is one of the things that I like to at least spend a bit of money on and go for like the lean mince, because sometimes, as you can tell, when you can cook mince, it does kind of run a lot of fat. So I do find that I'm having to, again, drain out the fat. But that's okay. We like to have beef mince and just, yeah, I go as lean as I can, whatever is in the budget. But here we have a kilo of beef mince that I'll separate as well into 2 separate bags. And we're all good. Yep, and here comes our... This was on special as well. I don't usually get this big of a packet, but since we also like to have warm breakfasts on the weekends, and I've got some dinners coming up as well that requires bacon, that I'll just trim the fat off and go from there. But here we go, we've got some shortcut bacon in the kilo bag. Again, and pretty much what I do with the meat is if I buy in bulk like this, I would just separate it into halves and just put it into separate bags and just freeze it and go from there. And lastly, in our meat section, we've got just a big pack of sausages. I've got, again, a dinner coming up of like curry sausages and rice or potatoes or whatever you prefer. And also, because as a random snack, we also like to have like hot dogs or sausage sizzles, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so that's just an easy, simple thing. And is this something really easy you can pull out? And yes, it was about a few things that we couldn't get from the shops because it wasn't available, but I can always go shopping tomorrow in another shop and it'll be fine. So that was pretty much a carton of eggs. And I think one thing that and also, and the eggs and the lamb shanks I didn't manage to get today because there wasn't any, but I'll just go to another shop tomorrow and we get their shanks and it'll be all good. And yes, and we're all coming down to our produce and fruit and veggie section. So yeah, here we have is a big packet of Australian grown oranges, just a whole packet, so all 3 kilos. My whole family loves oranges, and also my partner loves them, so he'll definitely like them when he goes away to work at Perth. And then my son, I will always cut them up in quarters, and he definitely loves to have those with his lunches, so there's that option. And as you can tell, we've got a whole lot of bananas because my whole family, including myself, love bananas. Not only does my youngest boy, Emmett, love a banana for breakfast, but my Oscar always loves to, when I put it in his lunches, so there's that option. So we always like to have a section of bananas, and that would go very quickly, so I do find that I will buy quite a bit of it. And also, if it doesn't last so long, I'll just go back to the shops and just buy more bananas, because I seem to go back to the shops more for bananas than anything, but that's all good. And yes, next in our little section here, we've just got a packet of tomatoes because I've got some meals coming up that require tomatoes, and also because when my partner Cal, that's his name, when he just has tomatoes, he loves to cook them up and have it with his breakfasts. And yeah, we've also got that option. And yes, here we go, because we're here, and we've got some Odd Bunch adorable apples in the 1 kilo. I do like to get the Odd Bunch because, to be honest, there's really no difference between an Odd Bunch with these and like any other apple, because maybe they're a little bit discoloured or got a different colour, but really they'll taste exactly the same. We all love it, and Oscar will still eat it for his lunches, so you can't go wrong, especially when you got good priced bananas, nice and cheap, and you've got a whole lot of them. So how can you be angry at that? It's great. Then as we come down here, I'll just move the chair out of the way. We've just got a 2 kilo bag of brown onions because, again, we've got some dinners coming out that require onions, like some pies, some casseroles, things like that. But again, we also like to fry them up in breakfasts. So these onions, I like them. I always get the big bag because they're so multi-use and you can make so many things out of them. It's just, I'm a bit weak when it comes to cutting onions, so if my partner's not available for him to do it, I'll just end up putting goggles on, looking like a weirdo and chopping them up. But you do what you got to do, I guess. And just lastly, in our little vegetable section, we've just got a big packet of, where is it? White cup sliced mushrooms. So I just go for whatever's cheaper at the time, and sometimes it's 100% fine if it's like the whole mushroom, because you just chop it up and there's no different. But this one was cheaper at the time and it weighed exactly the same, so we'll go from there. And yep, a part of our dinners, and we just love to cook them up for breakfasts as well because we love hot breakfasts. So yeah, here was this one, and we're coming into like our grocery and pantry-ish style section. So some dinners that we're coming up, I've already got a tin of tuna, so one of the dinners is the Tuna Bake, which I think it's making tomorrow or whenever. I would have to check my list. So I've just got two Dormios, the Tuna Bake, yeah, just 2 of those. I like to have them on hand, and since we're using them for a bake, it'll be awesome. And then yes, we've got some nice soups and coming up, so I always need one of these. So we've got the Italian style soup mix with the lentils, green lentils, and just one thing I always like to do is I like to soak these in water the night before. So when it goes to use them, they're nice and clean, they're plumped up, and they're just ready to go straight into your soup, and it's all good. And then I've got the 2 tins of the Dole pineapple chunks because the pizzas that we're going to be making next week for Oscar's birthday. But I do find that artists like to snack on pineapple chunks as well because they're lovely and sweet, but also us like to have them in like a dessert with like ice cream or just by itself. So here we go. I always like, and this is another one, I always like to get an extra tin because again I get a random sweet tooth and just felt like chomping on pineapple. And yes, here we go. We've got our some of our pepper medley because we definitely need a pepper, and just some pink Himalayan salt. I do find that we love this one a lot better because I do find the flavour is just a lot nicer when you use a pink Himalayan salt compared to the generic table salt. So definitely love to get this. It's so good. And yes, secondly, we've got some the 2 containers of the butter chicken because we felt like we were doing a bit of a butter chicken and rice and vegetable combo later on in our meal plan as well. Later on, I wouldn't mind looking up a recipe to actually make butter chicken from scratch. But until then, here we've just got 2 jars and it's always so nice and simple. And yes, here we go again. We've just got some sliced black olives. That's also something you can snack on, which is my problem. I can eat a whole jar. But also as well, it's because this is going to be added to our pizzas for Oscar's birthday, so that's always an option that people can eat, and I'll definitely take advantage of that. We've also got 2 jars, this one and just that one just down there, of our roast meat instant gravy. We've got a meal coming up that requires gravy, and again it's also good to get an extra just to make sure it's always on hand because we do like a lot of gravy, and just because even when it's just me I like to have gravy with things, so it's also good to stock up when you can. And here's a big container of smooth peanut butter. I only seem to bring that out when my Oscar's at school because he's allergic, so I also will always stick this up at the top so he can't get to it. And I like to have it sometimes, but also give this to my youngest son so he can build up his tolerance towards peanuts, and he loves it. So Oscar does have allergies, but I will definitely always stick this on the top of the cupboard so he cannot get to it. But he's a snack for Emmett, especially when it's just me and him home. Also with pancakes, toast, fruit, whatever you can think of. And then easy, I've just got 4 tins of this Italian diced tomatoes in the home brand because some dinners, and also it's good to have it on hand because it's one of those bases that you can pretty much have anything to, and you can make so many things out of it, and also no added sugar, salt. And here we go, and I'm sure it doesn't have a lot of sugar, but it's all good. And yes, here we go. We've got some just frozen veggies that will go in our casseroles and our soups. To me, it doesn't really matter what brand it is because to me it all tastes the same, so we've got some of that. And we've got some primo of the 2 pepperonis that will be going on the pizzas for Oscar's birthday, and if we feel like some in something else, then we'll add that. And yes, and here we go with the real beef stock, chicken stock, and the Massel stock in the beef. I usually get the same brand, but as I was saying before, we can't get everything we need at the shop, so sometimes I will get 2 different brands. But honestly, both brands are just as good, so I'm happy with either or. Here we go up here. Yep, and these we've just got the 2 boxes of the Choc cheap muesli bars. Again, the same type of thing. I'm not bothered with brands, but Oscar loves these in his lunchbox, so I always like to stock up on those. And yeah, here we go. We've got the home brand of like the cheese snack, which is pretty much another version of like a snack, and he definitely loves those in his lunches. So we've got some of those. And then we'll come down here, and we've got some Master Foods teriyaki marinade. This will come with another little chicken teriyaki stir fry-ish thing that I'm planning to make in the next few days. So we've got that. Some tomato sauce, some canola oil spray that we definitely needed to get a big spray can of, so it's always good to put on your frying pan to make sure it doesn't stick. Yep, and we're coming down to pretty much the dairy-ish section and towards the end of the video. Yep, and here we have some Greek-style feta, which is going to be going in a nice little lovely dinner later on as well. So I'll pretty much do some attachments of my meal plan after this video so you know exactly what's going to go in what. So here we go. And then, yeah, we've got some Greek-style feta cheese. We've got 2 big blocks of tasty cheese, home brand as well, because we seem to go through a lot of cheese, not just with snacks, but also because we like to make cheese toasties. And again, Oscar likes them when he make them, so he takes it to school, and we like toasties at home, so cool. And then, yeah, we've got the 2 packets of the Bird's Eye Golden Crunch hash browns, because this is a dinner that's going to, sorry if you can hear sounds in the background, it's just my phone's going off. Yep, so we've got 2 packets of the hash browns that I've got made for a dinner that I'll be making, so looking forward to that. Some table spread, because we seem to go through so much of that with just toast in the morning, sandwiches for everyone's lunches, and just whatever we need it for. We've also got a tub in the fridge, but I also like to buy extra when I can, just to make sure we always have some. We seem to go through that so quick. And yes, and again, I couldn't find the big containers of the Greek yogurt, so I just got the 2 squidgy bottles of these. And so this will be for another dinner idea. We don't need a lot of it, so we don't need like a full 2-litre tub or anything, but these 2 will be perfect amount for a dinner that I've got planned that, again, requires some Greek yogurt. And I do like Greek yogurt because it's tasty, but it's also a healthy alternative to sour cream, so we've got that. And yeah, and this is Oscar's favourite, so I do have little takeaway containers with these, which I put him in his lunches all the time. So we've got, he loves the Brown's Creamy Deluxe Vanilla, so I bought 2 of them because he'll go through so quick, or he'll either have this or we have the Vanilla Bean of the same brand, so pretty much whatever one, he'll eat it so fast. And then lastly, all these little squidgy ones, the Valia Probiotic Yogurt. Emmett, my 1-year-old, he absolutely loves these in the morning because he's starting to be able to eat unaided, so it's good. And this is also such an easy option, so you can just give it to him and he'll eat it on his own. So we've got multiple. We've just got a mixture of, no, again, there's vanilla, there's blueberry, there's banana, there's tropical. And in this one here's a strawberry, so I get a different flavours, so it's always a good price. I always like to stock up, so probably when I get some bananas I'll probably have to stock up on the yogurt like these, because my boys love yogurt. And yes, and we've got 3 litres of the milk. Seems a bit crazy to have all this milk, but it feels like I live with a bunch of bull calves. It's completely fine, so it's all good. They love milk. But to be honest, I love them drinking milk compared to something else like cool drink, because I don't always stock it. I stock it every now and then for a treat, but I'm very happy that they love the milk, so I'm not complaining about that. And I probably will stock up on that, and also I would have to go and buy those more of those along with the yogurt and the bananas and things like that. And yes, I had to stick the carrots over here because there was no space to where the veggies were. So yeah, we've got the 2 packets of the carrots that I either have in dinners. We'll just cut it up and eat it by itself with either a cheese dip or peanut butter, whatever you prefer. But also you can get the odd bunch with Woolworths of the carrots as well, but they didn't have any in the packet, so I just got these 2. So that's all good, so we'll use it. And then Oscar loves to cut them up into sticks and have it in his lunches, so we've got that. And yes, and lastly, we've just got a good packet of laundry powder in the Essentials Woolworths brand. I'd also mix this with like essential oils. Essential oils and like soap flakes. I kind of make my own for what we like, and so it's good for our skin, so it's not going to irritate our skin. So it's good and cheap. This is a good base, and you can add things to it as you need. So yes, and yeah, as I was saying, the only thing that I didn't manage to get, but I'll probably just go to another shop tomorrow and get it, is just some eggs, because they were out of eggs at the shops and they had nothing available. Some lamb shanks and possibly a bit of pumpkin as well, but you never know. I've got some sweet potato in the fridge, so I could just use that instead of pumpkin. Yeah, and we're all good. So hopefully you've enjoyed my video and liking all the shopping that I've done so far. And I'll attach my meal plan to the end of the video, so it gets you an idea of how I shop, and hopefully it gives you some ideas to be able to meal plan, because meal plan more, and I definitely love to meal plan and swear by it. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I would love for you to give a thumbs up and click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on more of my videos, and click the bell so you can receive notifications whenever I post new videos. And yeah, hopefully everyone has a good night or day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.